KD made it.
So much trouble. All night, two girls and me.
And at this time of the show, we bring an artist from Leicester in the studio and introduce them to the world. Now, my next guest is a talented UK drill rapper artist from Leicester. HDK joins me live in the studio this evening. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your journey up until the point of becoming an artist.
Up until the point of becoming an artist, it is a long journey, I would say. I was born in India, came here when I was 7 years old. Didn't know as much English, but of course I learned over time. Then I was raised in northwest London, and then eventually I moved over to Leicester, and now I'm living in Leicester. In terms of a musical journey, it started off early. So I used to listen to Biggie Smalls, Eminem back in the day, you know, when Drake was popping off and stuff like that. During them times, you know. And they inspired me to make my first few bars. I used to freestyle here and there in high school, you know how it is.
Tell me more about you as an artist. Where do you fit in with the scene and as an artist? Like who are you as an artist?
So me as an artist, the story I'm trying to put forward is, as you know, I'm already multicultural. I'm Indian, but I've been raised in Britain. I've been raised in India as well, part of my life. So that's something I do try to show people. Whilst I was growing up in northwest London, I did have a tough upbringing, rough area, that sort of thing. I think that's just standard in London now, you know, regardless of the area. But yeah, that was it. And I don't only try to show the road side of things, but also try to show, look, I've seen the same thing that you guys have, and I managed to get out of it, and here's how I did it, so you guys can do it as well. No, so I do have a producer right now. My main drill producer I'm working with at the moment, and who's done all my beats for my songs so far, is KD Made It. He's based out of Sheffield, so up north still. Leicester strictly. Someone I'm interested by is Manish Kula. I'm not sure if you know him.
Yeah, Manish, good friend of mine, good friend of the station as well. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so my plan is to work closely with him going forward. He's based out of Leicester as well, so I think we can build a close relationship over time. And in terms of artists, I've met a few artists. Queen Mills is impressive as well. I've seen her recently, JB Schofield, and so on. But at the moment, I'm just building my identity first before I go and ask other people like, or collab with me. And as you see already, I've done one collab. I've got another one in the books coming up soon. But both of those collabs are people who are close to me. So I'm not just trying to collab with people who are just massive or paying people just to collab for the sake of it. I'd rather get the music right and then put that out there. I
know you said you've got a collab cooking. Now, I won't mention it on air because I know you being a bit coy about it. You don't want to say too much. But I think I actually know who your next collab is because I know them. And I bumped into them in the shop the other day. And I was like, yo, what are you saying? And he was like, yo, I'm on a music team. I've done a tune with... And I was like, yo, I'm going to get this guy on the show. But we'll talk about that off air. Now, let's talk about the track before we get it on. So you said the track explores the challenges of choosing between a traditional Indian girl and a Western girl. Is this something you know, this kind of challenge you're faced with being in England? Sort of, is it a case of, you know, wanting to make, you know, the family happy and people around you by going the traditional route, or sort of going down the sort of westernized route from being here in England?
Yeah, I would say that's partly true. It is difficult to choose between two girls, and there are quite a bit differences when it comes to them. And another reason for the difficulty is a lot of the girls that are here, that are Indian, also have Western values to it. Yeah. So that's where the difficulty lies. It's not that I can't see Indian girls, as you know, Leicester is full of Indian people. So, and I grew up in Wembley myself, northwest. So again, just full of Indian people. You will barely see any other people around. Yeah. So that sort of thing. But yeah, that's where the difficulty lies. It's just finding people who have the traditional values, and yeah.
And is that something that's important to you, having those traditional values?
Definitely, I think that's important. It's the simple things, like even when the religion is different, the culture is different, you'll see those differences. Let's say you have a barbecue cookout. So if somebody who's already a cousin or part of that culture will know, okay, we need to do this, we need to cook things this way, do things this way. Yeah. It's those sort of things. That's pretty much all it is. It's not a language barrier or anything. We all speak English at the end of the day.
I read that. So talk to me about your writing. How, when you write a song, you know, you said earlier on that, you know, you wrote a verse within an hour. Like, where do you draw your inspiration from to write your bars?
I draw inspiration from real life experiences I've had, and not just that, it's experiences that other people have as well. And at the end of the day, songs are meant to be for entertainment as well. So I don't just say the story as it happened. It will be very short and it won't be as interesting. So of course I add a flair to it, make it interesting, put a storyboard. It's the same way people say, like, when you watch a movie, you'll see on there it's based on a true story, but it's not the actual story.
Yeah, it's always like the true story with additions and exaggerated things. Now, you know, say you was to write a song, do you just write sort of from the heart, from like something that is a true story, or could you have you written verses or songs where you've been like, you know what, I'm just gonna write a song about this. It might not have happened to me, but I feel like I want to write a song about this. Do you feel like you've got that in your toolkit?
Yeah, 100%. Not all stories are from there, are from what you've experienced. So I think half of the stories, and I believe, hopefully I can speak for all the rappers, but half of the stories are from also things that you're trying to achieve or want to achieve, and talking about how you're going to achieve that, and that plays a part in that.
Wicked. All right, so plug your socials and introduce your track, and we'll play it for you.
Yo gang, is HDK. You can find me at official HDK on all platforms, and my song is Trouble. Here it is.
Stop the whip, all I have to do is
So much trouble, been for the struggle, buried so deep, digging my way through rubble.